Yeah.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's happening with you, man?
Brother, just trying to get this weekend started.
What you got on deck for the weekend?
Man, I am trying to eat this weekend. We gonna be doing a little bit more celebrating of the birthday, and bruh, I'm really trying to chill out. Like, I'm trying to watch a bunch of shows. I've been back on the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
So now that I finished Harley Quinn, so yeah, I'm on the Umbrella Academy. Cause man, after watching The Boys this morning, I was like, bro, I gotta watch something else, bro. That joint was so fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so you know what I think is what's interesting, man, is that this weekend, tomorrow, I'm doing going to see an outdoor or parking lot concert, man. Got me and the homeboy Courtney and his fam. We go ahead and checking out this there's this supposed to be it's R&B. It's supposed to be Bobby V, Lloyd, and Pleasure P. They doing like some kind of parking lot setup concert though, man. But real dope. I thought that was pretty interesting, real different though. I thought today, people still trying to figure out ways to make a little money out here in these times, though, man. So I thought it was real dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Go ahead.
No, especially when I saw that I saw something about Tyrese talking about, hey, listen, man, this money's starting to dry up out here, man, for a lot of these folks in entertainment. Like, he was talking about I think somebody had posted a picture, maybe it was Complex, and Lil Uzi was in some car lot or whatever, and had all these like army green, dope little matted colored cars, though, man. And so Tyrese had commented under that, was like, yo, it's getting real out here, man. Like that, this money that people got, they got cars and everything, but that real money that you typically get, show money, money from entertainment, movies, all that stuff that you get, royalties, residuals, all that stuff. They said that stuff started to dry up, though, man. It's starting to look rough out here for these entertainers, though.
Yeah, man, you definitely got to be creative in times like these, and it is what it is, man. I feel bad for anybody that has lost a business, or that, all from something that, I hope people go back and look like, man, we had somebody in charge that could have made some decisions sooner and decided not to. So I hope that in turn that people use their voice in November. So,
and let's get that music going one time for me there, King.
Yeah, we're going to drop it. I'm just saying, man, y'all be prepared. It's going to be a very interesting.
Oh, yeah, this one right here. This one is probably going to be one of the, I think, not that all of them ain't good, but this is going to be one of those ones, though, I can tell.
Let's hit this.
Let's do it. Hey.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yeah.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Hey, bro. I know that my dance moves is getting limited, bro. I posted a video the other day. I was dabbling with this beat, trying to go ahead and get a little vibe going to it. And in my head, all I can hear is popping and locking to it, though, man. I know that my dance moves ain't quite the sequence days. Like, I think I still got one good sequence dance routine in me, though, bro. But at the same time, it ain't what it used to be, though, man.
Well, you better get it together, because the next time you come to town, we gotta have the sequence reunion, because my house just swear up and down we ain't got it no more, bro.
Now listen, man. All you gotta do is this: two things, bro. Have me some Motrin in your cabinet, and then give me some ice pack. Give me some peas or something, though, bro. And we in there, man. Yeah. They see the tapes, though.
They seen the tape. They tripped out. I got this one thing where I jumped over my leg and landed in the splits, and they was like, "What is that?"
That was before the Achilles was gone, huh?
You're right.
Nah, man. I think that for me, you know what, dog? This is the thing, though, bro. I think I still got it, bro. You don't have any reason to get it like how we was getting it. Like, yeah, I see people all the time now, man. Like, you think about that, though, right? You think about if TikTok was popping back in our time. You know what I'm saying? Like that. We'd be like the kings of TikTok, though.
Yeah, we've been change the game. We've been having dance practice just to TikTok.
Oh my gosh, absolutely, bro. Hey, man, Tory Lanez right here talking to these streets, bro.
Yeah. We gonna get to Tory, man. What was the best thing you saw this week?
Oh my gosh, bro. I saw a couple of things, though, bro. Best thing I've seen this week probably is okay. I don't know if you're gonna steal this one or not. If I'm still probably was a video I saw about Sports Center. They had this dude on there who was a senior, and I guess he didn't get that much burn. It was senior night and everything like that. And some dude on the other team, they had to have been beating him, right? And so he's sitting here pretty much almost like at half court. Let the dude come through and steal the ball from him, and he goes through and scores a layup. And he looked like he don't get that many minutes like that, though, bro. So what's funny about it is that the dude who let him steal the ball was celebrating for him, though, man. Like that's what he was like, nah, this is what's up, though, man. So yeah, I think that probably was probably the best thing I've seen this week, though, bro.
Peek behind the curtain, y'all. For pre-production, I sent him that video and said this was the best thing this week.
I didn't see anything better than that. So I'm saying that's your fault.
No, I put on there best thing that I saw this week. So you stole mine, but that's okay. I had a backup.
What you got, man?
I'm coming, man. You know I got to do my endorsement with my chapstick.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, so the best thing I saw this week, this morning, I got it delivered. Your boy got his National Society of Leadership and Success. I completed the stuff that was needed, hence the shirt. And so yeah, man, that was the best thing I saw this week, man. I'm definitely excited about that. Definitely glad that it's over. But yeah. So no, that's the best thing that I saw this week.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. What about your honorary Kappa Psi shirt you got on? What we got going on with that?
It's all part of it, bro. Like once you completed it, then this is you're a part of it. So yeah.
So you Greek now, huh? You got your little cane you be stepping also?
Nah, I ain't doing all that.
Ooh. Daddy long stuff. You ain't got no step. You ain't got no squat. You be out there stepping with.
I got a step.
Oh, that's dope, bro. Congratulations, though, man.
Appreciate that, man. You know,
listen. We got a lot of stuff. We gonna jump into some Tory. Now, you know what, bro? Dude, let's say the Tory Lane. Let's talk about. Okay, listen. Since we last met, probably like a couple of days afterwards, they had the verdict of Breonna Taylor, right? And it hurt my heart, but at the same time, I wasn't surprised, bro.
Not at all.
Man, not at all. I think if anything, though, man, they were prepared for it. I mean, this happened 6 months ago. They boarded up, buildings, all this. They were prepared for it. I think that this verdict was already something that they already had pre-planned, bro. I think that to be honest with you, man, I think that the delay. Now, here's the thing: this happened before George Floyd happened, right? And so my thing is that it doesn't take. I understand that there is a process, like the Ahmaud Arbery issue has been a long process because that was something that happened also last year, right? I think that it takes a little while for the facts to come out, right? Javier Ambler, right? The body cam and the footage came out to that, but that happened in 2019, right? I mean, I understand that there is a process for those kind of things, but unfortunately, while I was happy that her family was awarded like $12 million in civil, right? Civil amount in a suit, I thought it was so orchestrated, bro, that there's no way that they were going to give the family $12 million and still arrest the officers that killed them, bro. I just didn't think that it was going to happen.
No, and like you said, they knew what was up, and we knew what was up when the day before they was like, oh, they're preparing for the verdict or whatever the case may be. So I mean, wasn't surprising, still disappointing. It just, you know, to show that the cop that did get indicted was over because he shot through the walls of the neighbor's house. That's whack.
Walls get justice too.
Yeah, walls over flesh over here, bro.
All walls matter. Is that what people saying these days?
Yeah, drywall matter.
Listen, Ace. This is the thing though that got me, bro. So you know, and I hate to get into, you know, politicizing this, but let's just do that for a second though, right? I think it's that, first off, that looked cold back there in the background, bro.
You know, I'm trying to match
mission accomplished. It looks dope, bro. But listen, here's the thing though that I'm tripped out on, bro. So, you know, do you think, let me ask you this. Do you think, I saw something that was interesting. So the Attorney General for Kentucky is also apparently, I think that he may be like engaged to Mitch McConnell's daughter or something like that. They were at this little wedding or whatever. So they're cool. He's also a Black Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. Just humor me. Do you think that this was also about this dude's aspirations to stay in the good graces of those kind of high profile Republicans like Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump? He spoke at, you know, a Trump convention or rally or whatever they call them these days. But do you think that this was also kind of an audition or getting in the good graces of those key Republican people who have that kind of pull to assign those kinds of positions? Am I reaching on that?
No, I was giving dramatic effect because I figured you wanted me to wait till you were finished to just say yes. Absolutely. Like the other thing too is, you know, with the death of RGB, there also was talks that Trump was also looking to put him as the replacement.
Listen, bro. That would be so much of a reach, just because, you know, when you're a Supreme Court justice, it's a lifetime position. So, you know, I think that you would typically be older. You would have been more experienced and everything like that. This guy's a fairly young dude, but you know,
but you're talking about Trump though.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that while they had Clarence Thomas and they've had Thurgood Marshall as some of the more noteworthy, the only ones that I'm aware of, I like this though, bro. I'll talk about this in one of my little takes later. But I think that in a climate now where you had people who were so against Barack Obama just because he's Black and he was going to be in term for no longer than 8 years, I don't see that those same folks who would have had a problem with him would just go ahead and be supportive of a younger Black guy being, you know, appointed to a Supreme Court position for life. And so that's the only reason why I don't think that they would have done that. But it is. Listen. I just think that he really was pushing the fact that, hey, I'm gonna support blue. I'll support cops. So when I saw that, I knew what was going to happen. And so, even to be quite honest with you, I think that this is going to sound foul, bro. I think that the rioting that they're seeing now is way more milder than what I thought it would have happened. Like, I thought that city, that if Minneapolis did that to George Floyd, and here it is, we've been waiting all of this time. Like, maybe the fact that her family got the 12 million like softened it, but I think that I'm just surprised that it didn't get worse. That's all I'm kind of. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and I understand that, and it, I think that people are trying to think of something different at this point because it's like we've rioted, we've broke stuff. I don't know, man. I think
what else is there to do? That this is my thing about the thing that's disheartening about this, right? Is that this is the thing, and this is one of those things that shout out to Mika Reed as well because she made this point. Like Texas is a open carry state. Texas is a very heavy, keep your house armed state, and so is the state of Kentucky. And so my thing is that if you know that and you go in and you do these no-knock warrants, you can't expect in a state where you know people are packing that you just go in and let's just say hypothetically if they really announced that it was the police, which only the one person heard. I just don't understand that you can take a bunch of plainclothes police officers and then basically kick the dough in to somebody who basically who in a state where you are allowed to just keep weapons like what
and they had to stand your ground and
you got to stand your ground out there. So my biggest thing is that that's what make to me those no-knock warrants so dangerous. But then I think the thing that gets me is that this is my thing. Like I understand that you can't just be a police officer and then you just get away with, oh my bad, no, there was an accident. Like if you're a doctor, bro, and you fool around and you are practicing your skill, and someone dies at your hand, then for whatever reason, if it's an accident, you're subject to be sued like they did, but you would also be subject to lose your license. You could go to, there's all these other things. And so my thing that this blows me away the most about that is that the police kind of this immunity behind, all right, you know what? You can hide behind the badge, or I felt like my life was threatened. All these other things that you toss around that gets you, scotch-free when it comes to that police officers. I think that it just begs to ask, in this case, if you get killed during your sleep and you were completely innocent, then what does it take? Like, what does it take for does it take an officer to admit that I have malicious intent to kill someone, which will never, like, what exactly, according to the law, does it take for a police officer to kill somebody in the line of duty and they be arrested? Right, and that they're charged.
The crazy part is that the other thing too is typically when it comes to stuff like public servants, they are very protected.
Very.
Until she was a black woman.
Facts.
Like, what I'm saying? Like that cover of public servants, in a way, black woman.
Let me ask you something.
The other thing too, before you ask me, you get $12 million, you would think that would show some sign of guilt. If you didn't feel,
you admit it wrong.
Exactly.
If you didn't do anything at all wrong, you don't pay somebody out, right? At a record amount. Like bruh. Let me ask you something though, Ace. I've been seeing this and I would love, this is one that you and I haven't had any formal conversations on because I wanted to save and hear what you had to say about this. So I saw like LeBron James say something like the most disrespected people on the earth is the black woman, right? I've seen some people go out as far to say that black men don't protect black women, or black men are one of the number one, guilty of mistreating black women. I wanted to, from your perspective, what do you think about the idea that the black woman is the most disrespected person on earth, or let's say United States, But aside from them being disrespected, unprotected by black men in particular,
I don't necessarily. I just think black people have it difficult. I don't think that it's a way to say that, you know, the black woman is more or less protected. I think that, you know, especially when you're looking at just like the way black men are treated or assumed to be, I think you could have a fight for both. I don't think that you can just say the black woman is the most disrespected. Uh, but I can definitely say black people are very disrespected.
here's where I this is okay. This might be a reach. This is where I see some merit in that, right? So let's just talk about in history, right? So generally speaking, when in terms of, you know, history, black people were slaves, obviously. But even when black people were allowed to vote, at the end of the day, it was black men. It was never black women. Black men who I think are targeted. I think black men are the narrative of the black man in itself has people have found some kind of way of making the black man seem like it is one of the biggest threats to the world. But aside from that, even with all of that said, black men were allowed to vote before women, period, white or black, right? So to me, that feels like on some level of this foundation that structurally that we talk about RBG, right? It wasn't until, you know, she came along and was really pushing that women had the right to vote. That was like in the, if I'm not mistaken, 50s, 60s, right? So the women right to vote hasn't been that long. And so to me, when you say being disrespected, obviously I think that it looks into in terms of from the perspective. I think that personally, when people say disrespect and when it comes to race, it typically would be a white man who is the people who built this foundation and built the system. So even with them having these kind of feelings toward black men, think about how little and how much less they thought of women in general. If even despite all of the things that they felt about black people, they still allow black men to vote before they allow white women to vote. So here's where I'm going with this. Let me tie it together. So you got them disrespect. You got the hate of the black man, but then also the belittling of women in general. And so then I can see why you say, well, this is a black woman. If the system wasn't designed for black people, and then white men in this foundation never considered women to be an equal, a black woman would surely have to be at a disadvantage when it comes to, you know, that level of respect, though, man. I think, and that's a long scenic route to get to that too. But in history, black people disadvantaged. What women in general, black or white, never viewed the same in terms of equality until just not that long ago. And so here it is. Now you got a black woman. I can see that. I can see where there's merit about disrespected.
No, here's the thing. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I definitely agree with everything that you said. I think that there could be arguments made for both. I'm just saying I think that overall, though, as a culture or as a race, black people have been disrespected. But I 100% agree with what you're saying, and I'm not gonna any woman that feels like that they've been disrespected or they feel like even more so, I wouldn't argue that point either. I mean, I think it's one of those things like at the end of the day, you know, only thing I can do is focus on the black women that are in my life and make sure that I do my
here
part.
We go. So here I'm glad you said that, right? Because where I'm going with this is from this perspective, right? So I find it weird because I'm gonna go ahead and say, and I know I'm gonna hear about this later on. So I'm looking at a comment here from Gloria Jean Wilson on over here. And she says, I feel we are disrespected by our black men. I'm a black man you raised. I'm a black man you raised there, Lois. What we gonna do about that comment? But then you said that they'll treat Karen and Becky like a queen. What are we gonna do with that?
I think that's situational, though.
I think that it's very situational. This
I
is my
think it's
thing.
situational. I think relationship wise, right? There comes a time when when stereotypes can be true. You know what I'm saying? And most black women are looked at. Some of them can be loud. Some of them can be very opinionated. And then on the flip side, they might say that somebody uh, of a different color
Go
might
ahead and say it though, bro.
might be white. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little bit easier to deal with when it comes to.
Time. Let's keep it real. Time out. You're basically saying that there's this thought amongst black men who specifically say that I prefer white women. And a lot of the reason for that is because they feel like the things that come along with the stereotypical black woman, the angry, loud, mouthy, whatever things that you typically associate that society, media, whatever associate with the black woman. You ain't got to deal with that because these white women are passive. These white women are soft-spoken. They just let you, they easier. Is that what you're saying, though?
That's what I'm saying. That's the perception.
That's the perception.
I mean, because even like I told you, I'm rewatching the game, right? And so Tasha Mack, she was dating the coach of the Sabres, and he actually had invited her to a dinner, and he was like, listen, these are my friends. I want to introduce you to them, but I need you to kind of chill out.
Yes.
You know? And it was one of those things like she held her tongue, and until finally she went off. And it felt like that was that stereotype of what we talk about, because they deal with, race and stuff all the time on the game. Yeah. So, I mean, it is situational, because the thing is that you can always flip the script. There's different people is what it is. It's like no matter what race you look at, it's people to sit specific.
I agree. I see that as well. I think that the problem that I have when people say that black women are not protected or disrespected, it's almost like when I see that as a slight to black men. Like it's a low key dig at black men. It's almost like,
what does that mean though? Protected from what? Like what exactly?
Like, so this is my thing. So here's how I would interpret that, right? So I look at protected in terms of this. I'm very protective. I'm super glad. Listen, bro, I'm super glad that I did not grow up with sisters. I would never know how to act with a sister. And for that reason, I'm super glad that I got a son. I was super excited when I found out that Landon was a boy. I always thought he was going to be, but when I got the confirmation, I was so relieved, because I don't know how I would act with a daughter. I don't know how you tell Charlie no. I don't know how you tell Samaya no. I don't know how. Now, maybe you got so many girls around you that it makes it easier than just having one. But I'm very protective of the women in my life, bro. I'm very protective of my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law probably thinks that I'm way too protective of her, right? My mom is the same way. I'm very protective of my mom. My mom isn't that much older than me, bro. Like I got some homies that are not that much younger than my mom, right? So I'm very protective of the women in my life. And so when I hear people say that, I just sit there and think that's not true. I don't know. And I can only, and I know that a lot of black women have said they hate when they say a black man say, I don't know anybody. They don't happen in my circle. I can realistically say that I don't know anybody, any men, any black men in my immediate circle that I feel isn't protective, or that isn't all the way down for the women in their life. And I'm just and that's the reason why. Like, I understand that, yeah, it may happen, but don't talk like it's the norm though, bro. That's the problem that I have.
Well, it's like, for instance, like I have a sister, right? and you know, there's some stuff that happened to her, and there's still a person that owes me 5 minutes if I ever see him again. And so, you know what I'm saying? And even when it comes to all my daughters, you know what I'm saying, bro, it's that's easy. You know what I'm saying? My
Easy.
mom, it's easy. So I don't get that. And it's, and you know, it's a lot of things that, you know, again, it's a stereotypical type of response when you just say, when you blanket it and say, oh, black men don't protect black women. No, that's an experience from somebody.
That is an experience.
That's
That
an
is very
experience.
much an experience.
So,
because listen, I've been protective from jump, dog. I had at one point, bro, I had my cousins when we stayed off of Paula Road, bro. I had some of my cousins move to Texas. They were getting ready. They were trying to see if they were going to either move to Cleveland, eventually move to Dallas. And so I had my cousin, one of them was when I was in 10th grade, she was like in 9th grade, bro. And I had a bunch of the homies who was like trying to holler, and I was like, bruh, somebody gonna get laid out. And it used to drive her crazy that me and all of my brothers were extra protective of her. Like, nah. And I think that that's the thing, though, man. And I'm talking about, I'm protective of them to the world. Like, it's not just to other guys or whatever, though, man. I do covet the relationships of the females that I have of all, bro. Like, it's just crazy to me, man. Like, you know, like, this is the thing when it's funny because you brought up your sister, right? So when I hear that, right, I look at that and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, nah, bro, like, just off of what you told me about, you know, about your 5 minutes. If you talk to a certain somebody, they got 5 minutes. He got to have 5 more with me. He got to have 5 more with me.
I mean, I've never seen him again since that. And I would reckon, you know, he would owe 5 minutes to her husband too. Like, it's a long line of he got a long line of 5 minutes coming. And the thing is that, you know, I've never been any other way. Like, I mean, I've been just protective, you know, just protective over anybody that I'm close to, what, black, white, or whatever the case may be. If you associated with me, nah.
I do. Don't get me wrong. I do think that it exists somewhere where there are some black men in particular who aren't very respective to black women. And I'm not going to act like it just doesn't exist. I'm not going to sit there and act like some people don't. But I can tell you, I feel confident enough to be able to say that while that I feel confident enough to say that that's the exception, not the norm. I don't think that that's a regular thing. I don't think that that's just something that I think that it's something to me that the same way I think that people feel like there's a stereotype about black women being loud. There's a stereotype about black women being opinionated. There's a stereotype that, oh, you know what? I don't want to get around some weave wearing, you know, all these other things that you associate with black women. I think that there's also this tag that I think that I've seen increasingly trying to place on black men that, oh yeah, on top of all the other crap that black men deal with, that y'all don't take care of black women. And I think that that's so far from the truth, bro. It's so far from the truth.
No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it is definitely a difference in culture as far as, like, you know, you and I were raised never to put our hands on women. Like, that was just a,
except
we know with the JJ haymakers, we get it.
Okay,
but I'm saying though, at the same time though, I also feel like when it comes to a point to like these newer generation, they don't have that same
listen, I get what you're saying. So here's what we were just to talk about this real quick, and we can move around. But this is the thing. This funny you say that brought up JJ, right? Because this is what's funny, and maybe it can't be a generational thing all the way, because I see women in their 30s saying this, and 40s, and some in their 20s. So I see all that, but I'm surprised at how many from the 30s. But we talk about the JJ thing, right? So I laugh too, because when JJ and them was putting them hands on them girls, they said, oh, they got some dudes with them. They hit us on up, and it was never a question, right? They knew. And this is me, my dude Mailbox, my dude Randy. Like, these are people who I grew up with, and we got that call because they knew that we was built like that. We protect them, and that's what I'm just like. My experience just tells me otherwise, though, man. And I refuse to believe that narrative that black men just completely disrespect black women, specifically, or don't protect. You know what I'm saying? So nah,
it's definitely an experience thing. Like if you have experienced that, then of course that's the way that you feel. So I understand that, but
now this happens a lot. This came up a lot, right? Tory Lanez, right? Yeah. Let's segue into that there. Good segue here.
So last night,
break it down like an R&B, like an R&B bridge. Break it down.
Last night, I just happened to just be scrolling on Instagram, and I see Baller Report, and it had a picture of Tory with his receding hairline, and I was just like, there was no caption, no nothing, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? So I'm just like, I kept scrolling. Finally, I ran across Tory's stuff. I went to his page. And he was just like, "Yep, I'm releasing this on all platforms in about 5 minutes. There's a time to be silent. There's a time to do this. Blah 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 blah." So I hit you up like, "Yo, the boy Tory dropped something." So I couldn't find it anywhere, man. Couldn't find it anywhere. Finally ran across something on YouTube. There was already people vlogging about it, and then finally ran across the actual song. And then come to find out, it was an actual album. So, you know, and of course you started finding songs, and then finally it was on Tidal so that I could listen to the whole thing. I'm about halfway through the project, and you know, he basically is commenting on the situation. He is not giving any details, obviously, because he can't really say exactly what's going on because he's going through, you know, the legal stuff. But this is where we at.
Granny, you better stop that foolishness, because I almost busted out laughing. Because let me tell you this here. Y'all let this Bel Air 2 sell 1 million copies. By the summer of next year, me and the homeboy Ace gonna be out here with these hairlines from 1998. And you ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing either. The hairline is back. I'm bringing it back, 90. Listen, Ace Kennedy, I heard the project, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I feel some kind of way about it because we
gotta talk about it.
I saw this morning that they had Tory Lanez had R. Kelly trending on Twitter because they said that Tory Lanez then pulled an R. Kelly, that he then basically, in the midst of him going through this issue, he didn't put out some good music, and they think that he's trying to distract people because he didn't already got these boys dancing and all this other stuff and whatnot, though, man. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, well, hold on now. That's what made me want to check it on now, because they're saying he's trying to distract you. Do whatever. Ace Kennedy.
It's what we talked about earlier. We called this. We said if he dropped some new music, matter of fact,
it's great. Somebody said it has to be great. Great music. Right?
It was good. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it was, I mean, here's the thing. I think people, you know,
Mark said he got to drop a new Thriller.
I don't think that he necessarily has to, like, for this case right here, right? For this, people just wanted him to respond, period. And the fact that he didn't just do one song, that he actually had a complete project and was dropping tidbits in every, like, breadcrumbs in every single song, it just makes you want to listen to, oh, he said this. Oh, when he said this, was he talking about her? What was that? So that's the thing. It's like, it's one of those things. It's like when you and I talked about it, one of the most brilliant marketing structures out there, as far as taking the situation like this and turning it into something profitable, especially, you know, before any verdict or anything comes out. And it's crazy because when you listen to it, it was like he was going back and forth. There was times he was like, yeah, I'm over it, I got a new chick. And there was other times like, yo, I just want my girl back. And like, he was so wishy-washy, but it felt that made it seem more real. And you know, he just kept saying the whole time, like, just wait for the truth to come out. Don't let these people try to tell you we know what the truth is or whatever. But what was your impression though?
Listen, bro. First off, Danny, we're gonna have to fight then, because let this Bel Air 2 go platinum, and you're gonna see your boy by next summer with some cornrows. I promise. I'm gonna go straight Tiger on y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Ace. Megan Thee Stallion is a Texas treasure and needs to be protected at all times. With that said, though, bro, I gotta be honest with you. I listened to the music and I was pretty damn impressed. And let me tell you what I'm impressed with it by. Because two things. First off, I was impressed with the fact that, for one, this happened in July. He puts out an album in September to go about it. And what I think is crazy to me about that is that it would be one thing if he just put out a song. I thought at first it was just a single that he put out, right? I thought that it was just gonna be, you know what I'm saying, just him finally. I saw that he had had some kind of conversation with T.I. I saw this, that, and the other. So I would have said, you know what, if he would have only had that song, but when I realized that it was a full album, that's what impressed me because of a couple of things. The content, like you said, it was fresh content to where, because he had little jewels sprinkled in there periodically about Megan on almost every other song, by the way, I thought that, okay, this is new content. These ain't old songs or whatever. This seemed like it's all new. So that's one thing. I was impressed with the work the work ethic that you had to do. Like listen, I've been working on my project now for almost 2 years. Now, mind you, that also included working on your project as well. So I've been working.
That you have a regular job,
and I got a regular job,
and you have a whole family,
and I got a whole family, and not to mention we got the most underrated podcast that's being streamed right now. So I got other stuff to do. So I looked at that and I said, well, dang, that's what me and Ace would have done. Like if we only did music, then yeah, I got the bet. Listen, it almost had me going back to my thoughts about Nas, bro, because the fact that he turned this around that fast, I was like, I was impressed with that. But aside from that, set that aside, the speed of it, I was thoroughly impressed with the content. Now, mind you, I've listened to some Tory Lanez as far as a playlist, and like a lot of people were saying that I never heard of Tory fan. I'd be lying to you if I would tell you that. I've heard of Tory Lanez. I liked Tory Lanez from the standpoint that I did think that his tone and everything like that was a little unique to what everybody else was doing and everything like that. I like the fact that, he was independent doing and everything like that. I like that he was doing a lot of the same things. So I respected the work, but I listened to this and I was just sitting there thinking like, well, if you like the current sounding music, the auto-tune style, if you like the cadence of the raps, right? Like, I think that it's all of that. And I thought that it was a good rendition of what everybody else does. And the production on it alone was fire production. So that was one thing. I thought that it was like, listen, quality production, fast and current turner and topics. So content is fresh. And I think the thing that got me the most is that if you had questions about what happened, he doesn't come out and flat out say, I didn't shoot her. He's just saying it's more than what y'all are saying. And then the fact that he said that I still love her, and then still he wants it back in the record, and then talks about the whole Kylie thing and talked about in a song that he was kind of flirting with Kylie, thought that she was kind of fly, and that he would have never done that if he knew that it would make her feel something. Like, I was just like, yo, it did make me think maybe it is something more than that. But I would love, to be honest with you now, I would love to hear Megan Thee Stallion's response to that. Like, what you said that he shot you. He said you didn't even see me shoot you. You ain't see nobody shoot. You was in front. All the stuff that he said on there. I mean, he was dropping some jewels to help paint the picture. And unless he's just flat out lying, he's going to have to say, I did not shoot her in order for me to believe it, because she said you did. And he's not saying that I didn't. He's just saying it's more. I don't know. But I can't front. It sounds like it's something more to the whole thing, but the music is pretty good, bro. Like I was pretty impressed though, but I can't even front. And I don't want to seem like I'm somebody who's just supporting somebody. I don't want to feel like I'm disrespecting Megan Thee Stallion, because she is a Texas treasure and should be protected at all times. But I'm just saying that the musician in me feels like this is pretty good though, bro. I'm thoroughly impressed.
No, I like I said, I think the music was good, and I mean, especially from an R&B person, I think it's dope. He definitely had the whole Drake feel to where it was like,
oh my god, he sounded so much like Drake on the rapping that I almost thought that I was hearing Drake. Like, the Drake right there for you, bro.
Well, it's the thing is that no, Tory's pen is.
I was impressed. Like, listen, I never listened for Tory Lanez rap, but this time I was listening to it. I was like, yo, I heard the only time I've heard him rap was against the Jordan Lucas.
Yeah.
And when I listened to him rap, like I said, he sounds very much like Drake-ish and sounds like how all the other dudes rap, but he did it well though. So I'm like, I can't front like I was actually pretty impressed though, man.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I'm like I said, I'm not done with it yet. I'm on like track 8 or something like that. So
I would love to see what Megan Thee Stallion has to say about this one though, bro.
I think that if anything, they're telling her to lay low right now. I already spoke about what she wanted to speak about on her live, and I don't know that she should drop a song because, I don't know. I'm still like, at this point, it's like, if you telling the truth, you ain't got to say nothing. Just let the facts drop at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And then here's the thing, but don't get me wrong. I remember people like Mark Nurse from Lone Branch saying he going to have to come out with something that there is no thrillers on this album. It ain't no, I'm going to be honest. At some point it does, like, I like and dislike, right? You like that you're hearing some things. He did kind of go overkill with referencing it very often, like every other song he's referencing it though, man. But I don't know, man. I haven't canceled them yet. But Mark, that is an excellent point though, man, because he's still new to a lot of people, right? So some people can be like, yo, I'm done. But listen, with that said, I can appreciate that he at least called out Kehlani, also called out JoJo, and whoever else was talking about taking him off the tracks. He was telling no girl, you tried to take me off your song or your video, and it was your most viewed song or whatever that you had. I was like, yo, he was talking real spicy on there. Wendy's nugget spicy though, bro.
Yeah. Well, hey, man,
let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Kanye to them.
What about it?
Let me tell you what's funny. So shout out to my boy Randy though. I talked to him. He got his this is funny. Randy is younger than me, off the porch early. He has a grandson. His grandson is named Kanye. So Kanye is in news back to back. He had been talking all last week. Like, yo, I'm not putting out any music until Universal give me my masters, whatever. So then he said, hey, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm giving the masters to all of my artists. You can have ownership, 100% ownership of all of your own music. And then after he signed this deal with Gap, they say, Kanye said, listen, I'm not putting out nothing with Gap until I'm elected to the board, right? I want to be in, whether it's the creative board, He want to be in there with direction. All this stuff. Listen, bro. If Kanye is just doing this for headlines, is it working? Because we talking about it.
No, it's not working. The thing is that at the end of the day, Kanye signed contracts. Period. And now the thing is, Kanye had to give up those rights to his artists, or he was gonna look like a hypocrite.
He was gonna look like a hypocrite.
And the thing is he has to follow through on it. Like it's one thing to say that. So I'm hoping that they screenshotted that and everything else because but I'm gonna be honest, like I was listening to Charlemagne and he basically was like, listen, Kanye need to tell the whole truth, because what he's not telling is that he exchanged money instead of the masters. So
yes.
And so the thing is that when you did that,
you gave what they bought it from you. Basically, they bought a percentage of your masters, or all of it.
Yeah.
Listen, here's what's funny though, bro. One of the things that I thought is because this is a good segue to the overrated, underrated.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the things that was funny is that his artist responded, Desiigner responded, and Big Sean responded as well. Speaking of which, that boy, this is another thing. The boy Tory Lanez says something like almost insinuating that this is happening to him because he just got ownership of all his masters. And he says a line that I thought was real dope, because he said, he said something like, look what happened to Mike Jack and Prince when they got full ownership of their masters. And while he's no Michael Jackson, I thought to say that the fact that you would say that is pretty dope. But anywho, let me ask you this though, bro.
Yeah.
So Big Sean and Desiigner came out, and they was basically saying, whatever their piece is. And maybe to Desiigner, I understand that, you got masters and then you got royalties, and they're different things. You know what I'm saying? You got the mastering, you own the rights to do whatever, licensing and everything like that. Royalties is what you actually making on whatever. But here's what I'm wondering though, bro. Is it so Kanye now, he's giving them their masters now. If you can go a step further and say, here's all the money back, right? I don't know. I guess I'm wondering that you've made off of being the owner of the master. I don't know how you determine that, but listen. He said, I was interested in, he said, Big Sean, bro. Let me ask you something, bro.
Yeah.
What do you think about Big Sean?
I'm gonna be honest. He's definitely on my overrated list.
Overrated. Listen, Ace Kennedy.
And this is the thing.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's an overstatement. Here's the thing. I think Sean is talented. I think Sean believes in the stuff that he does. I think Sean is a good artist. He's just not for me. Like I it's not like I'm waking up and be like, yo, I gotta listen to that Big Sean. Like it's not like he's consistent. Like he's very consistent. Like he's got bars. Like the dude is very talented. You can tell he cares, and he's not ashamed to talk about his relationships. I think Big Sean is good. It's just for me, I'm just not. Yeah.
The bad part about it is, to me, right, is that Big Sean should be for me, and that's the reason why I think that he's overrated. And this is gonna sound weird because I'm gonna sound like a hater anytime I'm talking about another rapper, being the rapper on the show. But I look at Big Sean, and I just sit there and I think the only reason why I think that he's overrated is that I think that he's overrated because people try to rate him as peers to people like Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. And I don't think that he's nowhere near the rapper that they are. I think that he makes good music that will get radio play. And I think that alone is a skill. But I look at it like this. If you ever hear Big Sean on a feature with anybody, he's never had the best verse to me. Like anytime I've ever heard him and anybody else on the same track, it doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
He always gets killed on. And I just, it's weird to me, bro. Like I'm talking about, like, if I go back and I think about it, like I remember him getting killed by Nicki Minaj on the song on Control. He got killed on it, and he get killed on his own stuff too, though, bro. But
he's not even the best rapper in Detroit.
I don't think so. Listen, I still think, to me, to be honest with you, man, I think that Royce the 5'9" is the best Detroit rapper.
I don't know.
I don't think. Listen, I think that Royce, to me personally, I think Royce is better than Eminem. I think Eminem is more popular.
I think it's a 1A.
I'll give you that. But the thing that I have with Sean is that I think that people rate him higher because I think that they rate him as peers. Now, if you were rating him with 21 Savage, people who aren't, like, I look at Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole now in terms of the elite MCs, right? Who also make who are MCs, right? But also can get radio play music. And it took J. Cole a long time to me to be able to do music that was radio friendly. But I just don't see. I never thought Big Sean, and maybe it's because I look at him like, bro, you signed to Kanye, so production should never be an issue, right? So in that case, then you should make radio music. And then it's like, well, what are you saying? I've never just been wowed by anything he said. That's my big thing, though. Who else? Listen, we talked about overrated, underrated. Who else you got?
Well, who else is underrated?
Who else you got? Let me add. Matter of fact, no. Let's talk overrated. We said we did on the pod. You did on your page as well.
Yeah.
On things. Fill in the blank. If you're watching this right now, jump in these comments. Fill in the blank. Blank is overrated.
I have one that's a hot take. Martin is overrated.
Boy, you better stop it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. Do you mean to tell me you think Martin Lawrence is overrated, or do you think Martin the show is overrated?
The TV show.
What? You don't go somewhere?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's not funny. It's like it definitely did not age well. Like
what? Listen. Wait a minute. Martin is one of the shows that does age well. Like I'll watch Martin, and I've seen the episode before, and I'm still waiting for the part that I remember laughing at when it was on in the 90s.
That's good for you. I can go back and watch Jamie Foxx show. I can watch the Cosby Show. Martin the TV show overrated.
Bro, I'm so disappointed in you with that one, though, bro. I'm so disappointed in you with that one. That's almost like you sound like black people that don't like watermelon and chicken. I mean, I'm disappointed in you.
I love watermelon and chicken, but Martin.
You sound. I cannot believe that you say, my sister Kima would be so mad.
I know she would. I know it.
Right?
You notice I ain't tell her that before we shot the video.
Oh my God. You know what I think is overrated, bro? And I'm gonna tell you a hot take.
What's up? Hold on, wait. You said you got to do a hot take. Got the hot take. All right, hold on.
Give me the hot take. Them Popeyes chicken sandwiches that y'all was out here shooting people over and killing people over, them damn things is overrated. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think Chick-fil-A sandwich is overrated as well. Both of them overrated as hell, bro.
My God.
Both of them is overrated as hell, though, bro.
Okay, time out.
Both of them is overrated, bro.
Wait. the Popeyes chicken sandwich I would have let you get away with because
the Popeyes chicken sandwich is overrated, and it's overrated because people were comparing it to Chick-fil-A, who is also already overrated.
See, that's fair, bro.
You know the reason why? I'm gonna tell you what's better at Chick-fil-A than the Chick-fil-A sandwich. For one, the service is better than the sandwich, right? Because I was thinking like maybe y'all are giving this excellent service to cover up or mask the sandwich. But the other
Have you ever had that mac and cheese?
No, but I heard the mac and cheese was good.
Listen, somebody grandmama work at Chick-fil-A and all that she do is come in there and make the macaroni and cheese, be like, all right, baby, I'm done. That mac and cheese snaps, bro.
Chick-fil-A's milkshakes are better than the chicken sandwich, bro. I've had better chicken sandwiches.
Where?
I've had, listen, man, I've gone to a place. There's a place out here, a restaurant. I mean, it's restaurant. I ain't talking about fast food, but there's a place out here called Rosebud that got a better chicken sandwich, a bigger chicken sandwich. There's a place called Miss Icy's out here in Decatur that got better. Listen, both of them are overrated. But now, ain't nobody killing over Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
I'm gonna tell you whose chicken sandwich that I would slap 18 people for, and 4 of them would get backhand. My boy Slaughter at Off the Hook, Seafood and More. Listen, matter of fact, I ate there today for lunch. Sarah don't know that, but they chicken sandwich, bro, snaps. He be brining that thing for 24 hours, bro. Listen, Slaughter be putting it down on that chicken sandwich, bro.
Let me tell you something that's overrated. This is gonna be a hot talk. I'm trying to see who in here. I'm checking the post. I think Sade is overrated, bro.
I mean, you ain't gonna get no argument from me.
Listen, I know people who think that the Sade album is one of the greatest creations of all time, bro. And I was just like, it is really good. But in the grand scheme of music, I think it's overrated, bro. You know who I think is overrated?
What's that?
Old Town Road.
Bruh, that song snaps. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying that it don't snap. This is the thing about it. Old Town Road set the record for like the most played song ever, I think. And that's the reason why I think that it's overrated. Like, it's not that it's a great song. It's the fact that it was so extra. And this is the thing. That means that Old Town Road, he's going to be easily the number one-hit wonder in the history of the world. More than, hey, Mickey, you survived. That used to be the number one-hit wonder of all time.
I would have thought Sir Mix-a-Lot was, but
no. Sir Mix-a-Lot had Posse on Broadway. Sir Mix-a-Lot has songs, though, bro. But Old Town Road, because of how often it was played, and I feel, it's not that I feel bad for him. It's just that, like, I got one of my dudes from Briscoe, Javante. I got him on the Bel Air too, by the way. He was like, have you ever heard Lil Nas X before that? And he let me hear it, and he sounds just like Tory Lanez rapping or whatever. It sounds regular. And then that's the one. It's so overrated.
I got one, bro. Chris Rock is overrated.
Okay. I think this. I'm not gonna disagree with that, only from this perspective. If you're comparing him to, let's say, Dave Chappelle, for example, I think that you might be on something. I think that Chris Rock just isn't as funny as he used to be, and I think that Dave Chappelle is funnier than he used to be. Oh my gosh, we're gonna talk about this. Listen, you know what I think. You know what I think is overrated.
Okay. She just got canceled.
Listen, You know who I think is overrated, Ace?
Who was that?
This is one that you gonna be like, what? Oh my gosh. Listen.
She falling off.
She losing credibility. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you what we're talking about overrated. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say this right now. Because I was trying not to, and I told y'all 2 weeks ago before the season started, I said I will not say anything at all about nobody else's team in the NFL until y'all call me out. And guess what happened? The Saints lose, and my mom goes and starts talking trash about that. Tiffany had it's not funny. But listen, Saints lose, my mama started talking all this other stuff. Dennis Field tells me that the New Orleans Saints, super underrated. He said I was doing that to get your attention. I'm going to go ahead and say it, bro. And y'all already been guessing. Early, the most overrated for however you want to define it, has to be the Dallas Cowboys, bro. And listen, Ace Kennedy, I told y'all before, I don't dislike the Cowboys as much as I dislike Dallas Cowboy fans. I can appreciate that Jerry Jones is always trying, but let me tell you the reason why that I hate the Dallas Cowboy fans. Because for one, last week, these boys was losing to the Falcons, and everybody was ready to say, hey, let's go ahead and get Mike McCarthy out here. And then they win, and now they're going to the Super Bowl. Guess what that means, though, Ace? They won one game, they lost one game. What Dallas Cowboys been doing for the last year? Been 8-8. 8-8. That they doing that. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys, you probably can look this. I don't even have to look it up. I would probably say I'm willing to bet in the past 20 years, the Dallas Cowboys have probably had more all-stars or more Pro Bowl players than any other team in all of football. I'm willing to bet it might just be, I don't have to look it up. I didn't contact the research department. And every year, the Cowboy fans are all in. It's Super Bowl or bust, right? And my thing is that, some of y'all are Cowboy fans. And y'all team hasn't won since y'all had driver's licenses. So listen, Ace Kennedy, when the Cowboys won, in 1996, when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, I was 15. I wasn't quite 16 at the time. I remember my homeboy Mel had them Dallas Cowboy posters in his room. I got an old picture of us in the back over there. We chilling, doing the thing. And Mel had those same pictures in there in 1996. And the Cowboys have not done anything but let y'all down for 20-some years in a row. And every year, this is their year. And they're worth more than any other franchise. So my thing is, Ace Kennedy, how can you be worth $10 billion and you ain't won nothing? You ain't won nothing in 25 years.
Somebody tried to come for me, man, the other day. I was talking about my Bears, and they was like, you must be a Bears fan. I said, yeah, I am. He was like, and when the last time y'all won something? I said, well, which one of us been to the Super Bowl last? I'll wait. And he was like, well, you ain't win nothing. I said, but you got to get there to even try to win. Like y'all ain't even been there. Like
I be trying not to say nothing. I'm gonna give it one more go around because I've been going kind of mild on these boys. But listen, bro. I'm trying not to though. Ace Kennedy.
Yeah.
You know this one is for you. And you probably, I had to sit and think about this one long and hard. Not as overrated as the Cowboys, but you know who I think is overrated, bro? I think Seth Rollins is overrated, bro.
Okay, bro.
Seth, listen, let me tell you why, right? When was the last time? Listen, bro, while Ace Kennedy is down, I'm going to give you a couple of more until he come back when I explain this. Some people who I think and things that I think are just completely overrated. The New York Knicks are right there behind the Dallas Cowboys.
No, they're not overrated. They been trash for.
But they're worth. They're probably like the most valuable
Nobody's
NBA
expecting
franchise
them to win, bro. So that's
the Knicks fans every year, the Dallas Cowboy fans every year.
I ain't heard a Knicks fan say nothing but bad things about their team.
No, but this is my thing. They show up and they sell out. And the New York Knicks might have the longest running record for sellout crowds. So, anywho, listen, Joel Embiid is also overrated, though, bro. I saw all three of these, and I can vouch for them that Twilight, the whole series, is overrated, bro.
No, y'all tripping.
Robert Pattinson almost made the list until I saw Tenet, bro. He was almost overrated as well. But all of Twilight is overrated. Ace Kennedy, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you, bro. All of the X-Men movies are overrated, bro.
Charles, you ain't even seen all the X-Men movies.
I've seen all of the X-Men movies. Every single one of them.
The only one I haven't seen is Apocalypse, but you ain't gonna tell me that
I've seen every single one of them. And the only ones that aren't, I'm not gonna say, listen, I'm not gonna say they're not good. I'm just saying that when I'm starting to compare those, right, to the Marvel and the Captain Americas, and they overrated. Listen, bro. Ace Kennedy.
What's up?
The reason, bro, Ashanti is overrated, bro. Not looks wise. Not looks.
How you even taking shots at Ashanti when nobody?
I'm not taking shots.
You are. You taking?
No, she's still very relevant for just being fine now. People, listen. That's my point, though, bro. Here's my thing. In the grand scheme of things, right? Here's what I'm wondering. If Ashanti said, you know what, I want to go ahead and do a versus battle, right? You think she got 20? 20?
But nobody's calling for that, though, man.
But she is still, listen, Ashanti this is my thing, bro. When you're just, listen, she has been relegated to just being fine for just being fine. Like,
because she didn't stay with the times. Her whole company went down. 50 Cent bought her company out.
Listen, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you somebody who's overrated.
Seth Rollins is overrated.
Nah, bro.
And I like him. He's overrated.
Ryan Reynolds is overrated.
I knew you was gonna say something. I like Ryan Reynolds though, bro.
Ryan Reynolds plays the exact same person in every single movie.
Every single movie, though. Listen. If you put him in
a movie, Deadpool, you wouldn't. That's it.
He does. He plays the same guy when he was in Blade. He played Deadpool when he was in X-Men. He was the same dude, bro.
Okay, now last one, because I had
Ashanti Sideburns is overrated. Ashanti is fine, bro. But I'm just thinking, like, listen, bro, the fact that she has stayed relevant and stayed fine over these years, and she hasn't had the music to go along with it. Like, bro, who you got?
Well, my list. I had several people on my list put a name on my stuff, and
don't start with the foolishness. Don't start with the foolishness.
Hey, I'm just reporting. I am an analyst. I'm just going to bring about.
What did the people say? What the people say?
Said that Beyonce is overrated.
Beyonce is underrated, bro.
She's underrated.
Beyonce is underrated. Let me tell you the reason why Beyonce is underrated. The reason why Beyonce is underrated because in the grand scheme of music, right, there are only a handful of people who have came onto the scene as teenagers and have stayed hot their entire lifetime. Those people, Michael Jackson, those people, Smokey Robinson, who came on real early, she probably got on before them. Very few people who have came on the scene when Beyonce did and remained to be hot forever. So for that alone, I think that people forget how great Beyonce is. So Beyonce is underrated.
My last one, bro, because we got to move on to something else. My last one. Nas is overrated, bro.
I'm gonna listen. You're not gonna hear a disagreement from me. You won't hear it from me.
Like,
let me just run through something before we switch. Let me tell you what the peoples are saying. What the people are saying. Somebody said, and this was hilarious. Somebody said sex is overrated. Said, I guess I just ain't been doing it right the whole time.
they ain't doing it right.
They ain't doing it right the whole time. They said, nope. Somebody says having a cat is overrated. I hate that.
I'm a dog person.
Having rims on your car is overrated. I cannot agree with that because I got them 22s on the Bel Air and my girl looking good out there. Somebody said Floyd Mayweather is overrated.
Nah, that's false.
I don't think. Listen, I think that Floyd Mayweather is boring, bro. He's a boring fight, but I can't deny that he's good. Macaroni and cheese is overrated.
Not true. Especially when we had Danny.
Jordan's overrated. Are Jordan overrated?
No.
A college education? What are we gonna do with that? All right, listen. Relationships are overrated. According to Trey Watts, love is overrated. A 2-story house, overrated. Mexican food, overrated.
Hold on. I 100% agree with that.
No way, dog.
Authentic Mexican
I can't listen. Authentic Mexican Tex-Mex is. I'm surprised to hear someone from Texas say Mexican.
No. Like you said, Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex. Snap.
Not authentic Mexican food. I'm cool on that. You can have it.
I've had authentic Mexican food in Mexico, and it was snapping. The water had me gone. That's another story. Somebody said blacked out rims and matted painted cars is overrated, and I gotta be honest, I think that looks fire, bro. This was from the homie Mark. Natural hair, overrated. I think I disagree with that one, and the research department surely disagrees with that. Young kids with nappy hairstyles. Listen, everybody does it. I think I don't have hair, so I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to even go there. Skinny jeans for dudes is overrated.
I disagree with that.
I came around the slim pants. I haven't came around to the skinnies yet, man. My thighs is too muscular for them type
put the thigh meat in there.
Weddings, yeah, the thigh meat don't go in there. Weddings. Fame is overrated.
That must be somebody who ain't famous.
These is from Mark Nurse from Long Branch, by the way, who also said, and I'm hoping that the Piece of Man's son is watching this one, that Reasonable Doubts, the album, is also overrated, bro. Oh my gosh, though, bro. That was hilarious, man. Hilarious. Listen, man.
What's up?
Talk about underrated real quick. John Q, the movie, it's underrated. Probably one of the most underrated movies. No, she said bras are overrated. You might be right on that one, depending on what. I can see that. But listen, John Q, underrated movie. I thought that when I saw John Q, though, man, when I watched it, the first time I saw it, I was weeping, and I can't watch it now without getting teary-eyed, especially when he says that my son is not I'm gonna bury my son. My son's not gonna bury me. It means something differently to me watching John Q as a man with a son, bro.
Yeah.
Very underrated movie. Malcolm X. Another Denzel.
The Last Jedi is underrated.
The Last Jedi
is underrated.
See, you got to talk to your Marauder boys about that one, though, bro. They may argue with you on that one, but
they will.
Listen, bro.
What's up?
Is Paul George overrated, bro?
No, he's not overrated.
Listen, man, I didn't want to leave. Listen, I didn't even want to put him on there because you already said that. I just want to get your last opinion that after he gave it overrated. Okay,
he's not overrated. He had a bad season.
Nah.
It is what it is, and it wasn't even a bad season. He had a bad bubble. Let me
tell you something that's underrated. Underrated movie. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. So underrated, bro. 90s classic movie. I love that movie. I think it's so underrated. Love everything about it.
Big Trouble in Little China is underrated.
Big Trouble in Little China is very underrated movie, though, bro.
And The Last Dragon is underrated.
Last Dragon is listen. Let me tell you what I think is a very underrated movie, bro. Equilibrium is very underrated. Have you ever seen Equilibrium? So Equilibrium has, I think it's Christian Bale in it. This was crazy. I had never seen it, and the shout out to the boy Damien. Damien puts me on to it. And listen, Equilibrium was literally the Matrix before the Matrix. It's almost the same storyline 2 years, 3 years before the Matrix, though, bro. And the same idea. Listen, bro. Equilibrium. If you haven't watched Equilibrium, you watch that and you be like, damn, did this come out after the Matrix? No, it came out before.
Yeah.
Listen, bro. I told you Beyonce, underrated. You know who's, I think, I'm not going to say underrated in the grand scheme of music. I think the boy Toby from the SWATs from out there in Houston. Toby is so underrated. And I don't know if it's that Toby's underrated or if it's that Toby he isn't as popular or isn't as well known. And by that may make him. But Toby, if you haven't heard Toby, Toby is a Nigerian cat. I'm not gonna say Nigerian, but he has an African name, so I'm sure his family's from Nigeria. I stay across the street from some folks, and they told me that. But listen, he's the one. If you ever saw he's the one who had the song "Try Jesus, but don't try me," because I throw hands. Listen, I've never heard him put out anything. Never heard him put out anything that's whack, though, bro. Toby is dope, bro. Listen here, bro. The Slash Brothers podcast, right? It gotta be. Listen, man, they gotta be up there underrated.
Yeah, but man, listen. Everything we've been talking about has been cool, but we do need to get into something a little bit serious, a little bit heavy. You know, a lot of people that watch the podcast are from Killeen. And not saying that we don't have other people that watch, but we get a lot of support from Killeen.
Right.
And greatly appreciate that. And so over the last week or so, our community has been going through a pretty difficult time. Basically, what happened was about 20 years ago, one of our classmates brutally murdered 2 individuals.
A couple of them were involved. There
were a couple people involved, but the reason why I targeted one, because we will talk about everything that happened. Yeah. Charlie will kind of fill in that stuff. But this yesterday, at roughly around 5:45, 6:45, depending on time, he was executed. And it's been kind of a trying week because I know that a lot of people feel a way about, that decision for him to be executed. And so we have like a classmates group, and it's just been real heavy all week because we saw a message from him at the beginning of the week. And he basically just kind of shared his thoughts, his kind of final thoughts, kind of letting everybody know that on the 24th that he would be executed. And that kind of just sent ripples through our entire our group. And it was one of those things that it first of all, just want to say that I'm praying for everybody involved, all families involved. And, no matter how you feel about what the outcome should have been, or praying for everybody involved because it's just tragic, period. But, I was actually gone off to the military when this happened, but Charles, you were there at that time. So can you kind of give us a little bit about what was going on?
Yeah, man. So this was kind of one of those things that was like a very shocking kind of thing when it happened, man, because it's like Colleen for the folks. So we got, just so the people know, I'm in Atlanta, the homie Ace is in Oklahoma City, got a lot of folks in both cities and everything like that. But our hometown, Colleen, is especially back in 90, I'm gonna say 94 through 99, 2000 or whatever. Colleen's a very tight knit spot to where it doesn't take very much for you to know the next person. So there hasn't been very many things that happened to that magnitude that really made headlines. I mean, I can only think of maybe a couple of other times. There was a time that that Luby's, right, that happened in Killeen. There was this time that there was this little girl who was killed in Marlboro and had a big everybody come out to do a search on it. And then this was the other thing that I remember happening in my Killeen years. And I think that one of the things that was very shocking about this was not just the people that were involved with it, but the details of it. I think that the group that when this originally happened, so just to kind of put some more context to this happened in 1999. So in 1999, right, I was getting ready to turn 19. Some of these folks were, Dedadia Thompson. Thank you, Sharonda, for jumping in on that one. But this happened in 1999. So we were all about the same age. And so this particular crime happened, this group of people, group of guys, and I don't want to butcher this too much, but ultimately they killed a pastor and his girl. If you want to know the details, basically, I mean, I think ultimately they set the car on fire to kind of destroy evidence. This was something that was it was a story that was actually, the details of it was on CNN as well. But I think the thing that was the thing that's been very controversial about it in the city is that, like I said, it's Killeen, the folks that are, who are familiar with this case. I mean, these are people who, everybody knew, everybody grew up with them and everything like that. So everybody, if you knew somebody who knew them, and it didn't take much at all for you to, know people who were, intimate with that circle. And I think that the part that people have struggled with was that it happened with him when he was 19. And so it made headlines here on CNN because this was the first person in 70 years to be executed for a crime that was committed when they were a teenager. And even though he was a legal adult, there's been, some feedback and thoughts about, the maturation of the brain when it comes to, men that, that they're not fully mature. And so they were saying that maybe his consequences and all this stuff. And so you have people who felt like, yeah, you know what? He did give a kind of final plea. He's been serving, since then. He was given the death penalty at the time. So you have people who were for or against the death penalty talking about that. Then you have the people who were also talking about, change. He's turned his life around. He's been in prison. Spiritual. And so I think that because that's the case, though, he came out and he kind of gave a last kind of minute plea to, not be executed, to kind of speak out about it and everything like that. And the part that's a little, for Killeen anyway, and people who are of our age, is that, people are compassionate about this because, it's like everybody knows them. And then it's like you also have the victim's family, and you think, well, how do they supposed to feel? And so it was one of those things, man. We almost were debating if we would even touch on it. And a lot of people were reaching out to us to say, like, listen, are y'all gonna talk about this? And we kind of at first was like, nah, we wouldn't. But to your point, though, I think that the thing that, while we won't get into our personal opinions about this one, I do want to say that I do pray for the family of everybody involved, the victims who, this is if they felt like this is giving them closure, because the person who took away members of their family has also, if you believe eye for an eye, I guess I'm not going to disagree with that. If you feel like for some reason that this gives you closure, I understand. If you feel like if you're a member of his family also, and you feel like, all right, you know what, it feels surreal that it's actually happening, and that that now, nobody gets back that person. It's real messy. So I echo your point though, Ace, that I pray for the members of his family because, while he has been in jail, he has been alive up until yesterday. So they did get a chance to see him. And I especially pray as well for the families of the victims, only because, I don't know how you ever move on. You never get past it. You never do. I have no idea how anybody lives after this. So I can only give my prayers and our thoughts to the family and everybody who is involved with this, because, these are people that are gone and they leave behind a lot of people, man, that will miss them. And so, yeah, man,
the other thing I wanted to say, too, is that there's a couple of things. Like, I understand, like, a lot of people were looking at this from a spiritual aspect too, not just from the aspect of, the consequences. In the Bible, it talks about obeying the laws of the land. And of course, for something of that magnitude, then if those are the consequences, you look at that. I know, like, race has been thrown into it. There's other details that even the news haven't quite covered. So there's a bunch of information and a bunch of different, avenues. What I would say though is that I think that it's okay for you to feel whatever way that you feel.
Whatever way you feel.
Whatever way you feel. And also, y'all be kind. You know what I'm saying? You can have a discussion about this, because I'm gonna tell you, I've been having conversations about this all week. Like, all week, me and Charles have been talking about it. Like he said, we debated even bringing it up. I've been talking to some other people, and it's okay to feel the way that you feel, but you do need to express yourself. You need to talk to somebody. Don't bottle it up, because, this was a classmate, somebody who was the same age as me, and I've never experienced anything like that with somebody who I knew to end up something like this. And then, just the whole situation. It's okay to feel the way that you feel, but please respect everybody's feelings in that and in the way that they feel, because everybody in some sort of way is grieving over this, whether whichever side of the fence that you are on. But just make sure that you guys are respectful, because at the same time, like, we just celebrated 20 years of graduating high school, and we rekindled a bond that we have sustained that since that event. And it's one of those things, like, at a time like this, we shouldn't be feuding, we should be bonding. And it's okay for you to feel the way that you feel. And I think that it would have been a journalistic failure if Charles and I had not at least addressed it, because we are from Killeen. Just because we don't live there anymore, our ties are there. My parents still live there. My sister still lives there. My brother still lives there. I'm Texas at heart. You know what I'm saying? And so, especially when we're dealing with the class of 98, which I think is one of the best classes ever.
Facts.
I don't want to lose the bond that we have over this, when we need to be surrounding each other right now, and definitely uplifting one another and respecting the way people feel about the situation.
Yeah. And I think that to echo your point though, bro, I think that the thing that's, like I said, the shocking nature of it, basically, at the time, right? It's not that we ever forgot about it. I think that it just kind of resurfaced and just kind of opened up old feelings. I think that to the people it was shocking to everybody, because everybody knew, the people that were involved differently. Let's say, like, people, when it happens, there are a lot of people who we went to high school with who have memories of the people that were involved, and they would have never thought that something like this would happen. So they still remember that person as that, not for the things that they actually did. But at the same time, I respect everybody's opinion. I don't want to sit there and tell anybody that their opinion of it is wrong. And I think for that reason, that's the reason why we would just say that, we are definitely, we have you guys, everybody, in our prayers. We won't get into our typical bantering about, and debating about this one in particular, but we did want to again, speak on something that's been very near and dear to the hearts of a lot of people from Killeen, a lot of people who we, care for and respect. So salute to all of y'all. And stay uplifted.
Yeah. Yo, man, we definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all. We hope y'all have an incredible weekend. We are the Slash Brothers. We love y'all. We'll see y'all Tuesday.
K-Time, stay down. Class 98. Root outs.